Hello again. Where is heaven? Where is it kept? How do we get to it? What's it all about? In the first trip of a cosmonaut going around the Earth, a Russian Sputnik, he said, "I've been to heaven and I didn't see God. Therefore there isn't a God." Maybe he should have read the last 2 chapters of Revelation, which talks about a new heaven and a new earth, for the former things has passed away. And Jesus promises there'll be no more death, and he'll wipe away the tear from our eyes. What a wonderful promise. But the promise suggests that beyond our earthly life, there is much more to come. But it's very confusing. Think back to those 4 disciples at the time of the resurrection. There they were, locked in the upper room, and Jesus suddenly appears before them, coming through a locked door, and asks and is given something to eat. Very strange. Someone of a physicality, a physical form, who could come through doors. And we know if you read John's Gospel towards the end, he's by the lakeside, he's made a fire, he's cooking fish for his disciples. So he has all the powers of touch and feeling, yet he could suddenly disappear. So it seems that Jesus, in his resurrected body, transcends just the 3 dimensions of length, breadth and height, and go in a 4th dimension, which scientists call it time-space continuum of 4 dimensions. And this is where most of our brains climb out of our head and says, "You fly solo." It's all very confusing. That Jesus had the ability to be with us and then go off elsewhere. Where? We don't know. Somebody else? Another part of the universe? Or back to God? Questions we'll have to wait until our next life. It's all very confusing, and it reminds me of doing quantum mechanics at university. Now that's something that really makes your brain swells and fall to bits. I never really fully understood it. But it suggests that electrons and subatomic particles could suddenly appear and disappear, materialise and dematerialise, for no apparent reason, apart from the fact it could. So you've got that microscale, things unseen and understood, of behaviour of atoms, totally baffling. Yet at the macro scale, astronomers are similarly baffled in that the universe should have collapsed. It shouldn't be in its set order as it is. And so they said the only way they can explain it is if 85% of the universe is made up of dark matter or dark energy, something which cannot be seen or measured, but has to be there in order for the universe to exist. Now I find that very difficult to understand. But Jesus' ability to pop into and pop out of our lives physically is consistent with the promise he makes to us that there'll be a different dimension to our lives on our death. And the promise we get is from John 14. "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also." the promise from Jesus that we can be with him in this new heaven, this new earth, and he'll take us to be there with him on our death. What a wonderful promise, what a wonderful hope. Thanks be to God for Jesus' promise to us. Amen.